as you remember, previous session, we started talking about writing section, and the first title was process diagram. Do you remember process diagram?
Could you repeat?
Yeah, of course. You know, previous session, we started talking about writing section. I was writing, and the first title, the first topic was process diagram. As you remember, we actually did some exercises related to process diagram. Do you remember?
Yes, but like I don't. Can you spell?
Of course. Let me show you something. Okay, just wait a minute. Well, okay. And let me close this one. Okay. So, and I think it's illegal. Okay, let me put this here. Well, and share my screen. Okay, so put this here. Okay, as you can see, okay, let me close this one. Okay, now this one. Okay, can you see this? Can you see the screen now?
It's just a gray screen. It's a black.
Yeah, really? It's a black screen again? Okay, why? You cannot, okay, see this screen. Let me share the screen again. So it should be clear, I don't know. So how about now? Can you see? Okay, so let me do something. I can do something for you. Just wait a minute. Let me send it to you so that you can have it and check it. So wait a minute. Okay. Well, it's being uploaded in 1 minute. Just okay. Now you can see it. Well.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. So as you can see, this is actually an example of process chart or process diagram. You know, in process diagram, we normally describe or explain the steps of or the process of producing something maybe. And we have two types of process diagram. So first of all, in process, something that is really important is the first point and the end point. It's something like this. Let me, show you. So the first one, I don't know, of course, you need to see the screen. It's really bad that you can see, but it's okay. So the first point and the end point. And now we have two types of process diagram. The first one is natural process. Natural process, for example, how cows produce milk. This is natural process. So we describe a natural process, how cows produce milk. And we have man-made process. It means something like how coffee is made, something related to people, okay? So we have two types of process. Now, of course, as you know, for writing section, we need to consider, especially for task 1, task 2, we need to consider word limits. As you know, we need to write about 150, at least 150 words for task 1. So we need it. And let me say something. We have different types of diagram that should be described in part 1. And the methods, the ways are different to describe them. So first of all, and we actually try to explain and try to learn them why one by one. So first of all, this process chart. Okay, this is an example of process. So first of all, the structure, how to write about. Okay, so let me write something again on chat box so that you can, okay, let me write in chat box. Okay, so our process chart should actually be, should include 4 parts or 4 paragraphs, okay? So a writing includes 4 paragraphs or 4 parts. The first part, as you know, is, can you say? Introduction or introductory sentence. So introduction or introductory sentence. Okay, what do we write as introduction, or what is introductory sentence? Okay, what do we need to write? So the first line and the first paragraph is introduction. And actually, you need to paraphrase the question, of course, paraphrase the question or paraphrase and talking about the diagram in introduction part. Okay, so only you don't give any details, just you need to paraphrase it. Okay, what is the process chart? Okay, what is this process diagram? Okay, justice. For example, this, I don't know, process chart or process diagram is, I don't know, the steps of producing milk, for example. So something like this. Then we have the next part or the next section or the next paragraph is overview. So number 2, overview. Okay, what is overview? That's different. Okay, and what do you need to write in overview? In overview, you need to write the total number of steps. For example, there are 7 steps. Okay, for example, in this example that I sent you, you can count them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. We have 7 steps. So in overview, you should, for example, the given diagram contains 7 steps and the first step, and you only mention the first step and the last one, just this. So the number of steps, the first one and the last one, and nothing else. Okay, so we don't give any details. Now it's turned to main body or body paragraphs. We have 2 body paragraphs. So number 3, body paragraph, and of course, again, number 4, body paragraph number 2. So we have 2 body paragraphs. Why? Because we actually try to divide information into 2 paragraphs. So first of all, for example, steps 1 to 3, and for example, 3 to 7 in the next paragraph. Okay, so something like this. So you can explain, now you can explain and describe the steps one by one. Okay, this is all about process diagram. And something that you need to know that is really important to know, the first thing, using passive voice, especially present simple passive, that is really important. Okay, and of course, you know, present tenses. So especially simple one, that is really important to use passive voice to write about process diagram. So, well, and of course, yeah.
Could like I'm in the overview part, like we just write the first process and the last process.
Yes. Only the first, and just so you have two lines or 2 parts in overview. Number 1, total number of steps. For example, the given chart, the given diagram contains 7 steps. And it begins in, for example, or the first step is either nucleating something or digging, something like this. And the last one is this. So the first and the last, just this. You don't talk about the other steps in overview. Then in main body, you can talk about them, okay?
Yes, okay.
Very good. So, of course, we can keep this part here. Now, I want to do something, okay? Let's take a look at this process diagram. I want to write some vocabulary, some words related to this diagram. Then I want you to try to write about it. Okay, so while I'm writing, you can check the information, check the process diagram. Then I can tell you, and I will tell you how to write about it. Just I'm writing some words, essential words related to this chart or diagram. So, and you think of it? Well, so. Okay, just wait a minute to.
Yes, okay.
Okay, so let me give you some, clues. So, first of all, you can say, okay, you want to give an introduction. In introduction, you can say the given diagram, the process diagram. So you begin with this phrase. Okay, so the given process diagram or the diagram, you can say, explains, describes. So you can use explain, describes. Okay, now what is this diagram about? Would you tell me what is this diagram about?
This diagram about, I think that uh, I I think that they produce clay.
Okay, well, let me write something here for you. For building industry.
Teacher, I have
Okay,
a
yes,
question.
yeah. You have a
Uh,
question.
yeah, yes. It's like that. You have told me that the process have two type. And the like I just know one is natural process and the second is what I don't know.
Yeah, of course, I will write for you. So we have natural and we have man-made. For example, this one is man-made process. And it's about, of course, you can say the given diagram or the process diagram explains the way in which bricks are made for building. As you can see, we have some, the process of building bricks. And they are bricks, as you can see. So we have the process of building. Now, how can we? Okay, this is introduction. And now we need an overall, okay? We need an overview, okay? How can we write the overview? Would you give me, for example, an example if you want to write the overview? What do you say?
I think that the first is
Just think of it.
oh, like uh, we talk about how we take the ingredient and then we have the product.
Okay, now let me say something. Now look at the first, okay, just tell me how many stages do we have? How many stages do we have? Count them, 1, 2, 3,
7.
7. So for overview, now it's turn to overview. You write, there are 7 stages in the process. So this is the first line. There are 7 stages in the process. Now, beginning with what? Look at the first picture. What is this? This is a digger, yeah? What
Yes.
does it do? What does it do? It is digging, yeah, digging up of clay,
Yeah.
as you can see there clay, so it's digging up the clay. So we can say beginning with digging up the clay and, okay, and tell me about end. What's happening at the end?
Um, we take clay and mix it with metal, grit, sand, and water.
Okay, the last one, just the last one. Okay,
Uh,
look at the last stage, just first
uh,
and last.
we packaging and deliver it.
Excellent delivery. This is excellent delivery. So the first step is digging up. The last step is delivery. So I can write, I'm writing here for you. So I can say there are 7 stages in the process, beginning with, let me write here, digging up of clay. Okay, or only digging up, it's okay. And ending up ending up, or I can give you more, for example, I don't know, synonyms, end up, or the best word is culminating or ending up. Let me write here. Ending up. Okay, in delivery. That's it. So this is my overview. This is my overview, just this. Okay, so now I have introduction, then I have overview. And if you want to, for example, separate overview and introduction, you can use, for example, I don't know, overall, totally, there are 7 stages. You can use totally, there are 7 stages. Overall, there are 7 stages, so you can see. And here I have beginning and culminating. This means ending up, ending the process in delivery. Get it?
Yes.
Okay, now let's go to describe and explain the process. Okay, now it's turn to explain it. Okay, so we say to begin, to start, to begin. Okay, now you say, what is happening here? Just try to understand. It doesn't matter if you don't know, just try to say.
I think that at the start we dig we dig the clay.
Excellent. So, okay, to begin or for beginning, okay, for example, we dig up. It's okay, but if I were you, I wouldn't say we, because we don't do anything and we don't know who is doing. We only can see the process. So how about using passive voice? For example, we can say the clay is dug up. Digging up, dug up is passive. So I can say the clay is dug up. This is passive. Do you know anything about passive voice?
Yes, okay, yeah.
Okay, do you know we use to be plus past participle? Do you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, very good. So as you know, when we don't know or we don't want to mention who does an action, of course, it's not important who does an action. And the action is important. We use passive voice or passive. So actually, the action is important here. So there is no matter who did. We don't know someone. So we say clay is dug up, okay, for example, to make bricks. Why do we use it? To make bricks. Okay, very good. And of course, you need to say by a large digger. We have a digger here. So the first line you can say to begin or for beginning, clay is dug up. Clay is dug up by a large digger. So this is the first, as you can see, we have the picture. Now next.
Next we mix the like we run the metal grid in and we run the metal grid and mix it with sand plus water.
Yeah, okay, so very good. Then, so as you can see, and as you can hear, I am using some word like then and after that. So we need to make the stages in order, one by one first, then after that. Okay, so then, of course, again, you said we. We don't say we because we don't do anything. Okay, we say, then the clay, we are talking about clay. The clay is placed onto a metal grid, or a roller. And now the first.
The third we mix clay.
Excellent.
No, it's like mixing the clay with sand and water.
Yeah, excellent. And it's mixed. It's mixed Yeah, with sand and water. Very good. And the next part?
Um, it can be wire cutter or it can be mud.
Hmm. So, okay, yeah, of course. Yeah, of course, you can say. So you can say, so the next step, okay, next, you need to say the stages, okay. Next, of course, we have mold and of course to make the bricks. And after that, the bricks,
The bricks will be tried in a oven.
yeah, of course. This is, of course, we have say kiln. You can say this is oven, the special oven to heat the bricks is this word kiln. Okay, so you can use this. So, okay, so you can say in the next stage, the bricks go through a heating and cooling process like this, okay, and they are heated in kiln. This part, this is an oven, special oven called kiln, okay,
But
and
teacher,
yeah,
first
yes.
trying oven is heater oven or like cooler oven.
Yeah, the heating. Okay, so we have the heating oven that's called kiln here. Okay, as you can see, and we have cooling chamber. So we can use both of them. But first of all, as you can see, first process, is heating.
Mhm.
So bricks are heated in a kiln at a, as you can see, at a moderate, as you can see the degrees, this degree moderate, and of course, followed by cooling. Okay, now the process
I,
followed by cooling. Yeah, get it? First
yeah.
heating, then cooling. Okay, and cooling in chamber. And now you can say for 2 or 3 days, I'm sorry, yeah, 2 or 3 days, because we have 48 and between 48 and 72 hours, it's been 2 or 3 days. So you can say, and then the bricks after that, okay. Finally, after that, the bricks
The,
are
the bricks are packaged.
packed. Excellent, very good. And
Then it like they are they are like finally they are delivered.
excellent. And finally, the bricks are delivered. That's it. And that was the process of, making bricks. Okay. Of course, for the first time, maybe it's a little confusing for you, but let me say, actually, this one, as you can see, is oils process bricks manufacturing and producing bricks for oils. So it's really challenging and hard one. If you could do it, it means that you can do and you can actually write about all process. Okay, so any questions about it?
Yes, we like how can we drive from the stage 4 to stage 5?
How can we write from stage 4? It means this one, kiln, this one, drawing the oven. Yeah, of
Yeah,
course, from this part. Yeah, of course. Let me say. Okay, we can say the bricks are placed. You can use this word, are placed in an oven to dry. In an oven to dry, of
yeah,
course, for about, for example, 24, between 24 or 48 hours, or you can change it to day.
yeah.
Then, okay, and the next and the following stage, the bricks go through a heating and cooling process. It means they are heated in a kiln at moderate, okay, and then after that, the next stage followed by, of course, cooling process. We have cooling process that the bricks are actually cooled in a chamber for 2 or 3 days. Okay. And of course, something like this. So you can say something like this. Of course, when writing, it's a little easy to write. Okay. So the verb that you can say, you can use, place is the verb that you can use, and you only can use the word that you can see in diagram. For example, we have chamber, we have kiln, we have drying oven. Okay, what does it do? Drying oven, you say, for example, yeah, they
but
go into it. Yeah.
but it's like I don't know. Could you spell the word that we use to heat and cool the bricks?
Let me write for you. Let me write this part for you. Okay.
It's
So that you can.
like just a word. I can hear clearly the words is
Of
heating and
course.
cooling. What
Of
heating and
course. I'm writing for you. Okay. I'm writing in chat box so that you can have it. Okay. So
okay.
let me write the next stage. Okay. For example, the bricks. Okay. Bro. Okay. Heating and cooling. Okay.
Like
Are,
I know
yeah.
it's hard. There's some work I don't know, so it's very hard for me to do it myself.
It's okay. I'm writing. They are
Yeah.
heated in a kiln at a moderate. Okay. And then, okay, a high temperature. Okay, temperature. And you can, for example, add the temperature, for example, 87 to 100 degrees. Well, and followed by, okay, a cooling process can be process in a chamber. Okay. For 2 or 3 days. Okay. You have it.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Finally, the bricks are packed. So finally, the bricks are packed. Okay.
Yep.
And
The
delivered.
the finally part I can do it. Yeah.
Of course. That's it. So we could write about this process diagram. Okay.
Yes.
Very good. Okay. And as you can see, I only used the words from the diagram. Moderate, high temperature, we have them. I try to use some, for example, words and linking words, and I don't know, try to make some sentences, join the sentences, and just this. But I used the information from diagram. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Well. Okay, let's keep going. Let me close this one. Don't you have any questions about this part?
Yeah. Okay. It's clear now.
Very good. So let me close it. Okay, let's get started on book. I want to share the screen again, but I don't know what should I do when you can't
Oh,
see the
now,
screen.
now I can see the screen now. Yes.
Yeah, you can see.
Yes.
Ah, that's great. Okay, very good. So, okay, we did this part. So, and of course, we did this word. Okay, this is something about grammar. I want you to complete this word. Simple passive, you know this. Would you do this, please? Complete. Part 5. Let me put your picture here so that you can see it better, okay?
Yes. The first is tea leaves. Tea leaves are picked by hand.
Yeah, very good. 2.
2. Only the best leaves are used.
Very good.
A lot of water is needed to grow tea plants successfully.
Very good. And the last one?
A lot of tea. Oh, yeah. A lot of tea is grown in China and India.
Is.
Yes,
Okay, would you tell me the past participle of grow, please? Because I couldn't hear clearly.
it's ground. The ground. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Excellent. Yeah, of course. Very good. Well, okay, now let's take a look at this word. As you know, we need some sequencing expressions, sequencing words to make our sentences, our steps, our stages in order. First, second, finally. Okay, so they are sequencing words. As you can see, we have after, finally, first, next, the next stage, then, of course, a lot of other that I will tell you. For example, instead of and, what can you use? Okay, just here. Okay, let's check this one. 1, 2, 6, and try to use this sequencing word in the correct order in the correct place.
I think the first one is
Just here. First one is.
Oh, now it's a black screen.
Okay, it's okay. It's because of your picture. When I put your picture here, you can see this. Let me do something. Okay, let me put this here so that okay, make it a little bigger. Can you see now?
Yes.
Is it okay, clear? Okay, so I put this one here. Okay, now you can see and put this here.
After that is placed in number 2.
Of course. After that, you say number 2. Oh, what's this? And
But I don't remember the process of string hopper.
okay, you don't remember the process? Okay, let me show you again. Okay, so let me show you again. You can see.
Right. Yes, okay.
Okay, now. So first, after that, 3.
The first is the right is put through a window.
After that, water is added to the flour, and 3. Let me say something about when we have after that. Okay, normally I did something and I have okay after that, and after this sequence word, after that, I can use then or next. It's your choice. Both are correct. So you say first, after that, then or next. It's your choice. So number 3.
Yeah, okay. Number 3 is next.
Next, of course, or then. Then is better. I like it, more. Then is better. Okay, because I need to use next later, so it's not bad. 4. We have is to push. Is to push.
Like the next stage.
Excellent, very good. And 5.
Then the string hop
Excellent.
is in the steamer.
Very good. Then or next, they're the same. And the last one?
Finally, they are served with spicy curries.
Very good. So as you can see, we have first, and after that, and then or next, and after that we have, for example, the next stage, and finally, and of course we can use, them again and again. And so, for example, sometimes I need to use then more than 2 times. So it depends on my writing, of course. Well, and now this part, okay, writing an introduction and overview. Now you know how to write introduction and how to write an overview for process diagram. Well, which of these is an introduction and which is an overview? A or B?
I think A.
A is what?
There are 6 stages in the process of making strings hoppers, beginning with grinding the rice and making a dough, and ending with using a steamer to cook the string hoppers.
Okay, is this introduction or overview?
An overview.
Excellent. And B?
The diagram demonstrates the process of preparing string hoppers, a kind of noodle. The introduction.
Very good. And as you can see, we have demonstrate. Okay, so we can use some word like illustrate. So you can use demonstrate or illustrate. Shown. Okay, let me change the color again. Oh God. The color is white so that you can see well. Illustrate, demonstrate, shown. Okay, so you can use all of them, but illustrate and demonstrate are better. Okay, well, now let's keep going. Which of these are not overview? And tell me why.
Because B is just
No. Part 8. You didn't read it. Part 8. A, B, C, D.
The process of making blue cheese can be seen in this series of pictures. This not an overview
Very good.
because it's like introduction. It's not an overview.
Yeah, that's it. Great. This is an introduction. And
B. To make a perfect omelette, you need fresh ingredients, the right equipment, and the correct technique. You must also cook it for the correct amount of time and pay attention to the temperature. No, it's not an overview.
very good. It's not. Okay, you say it's not. Okay, well, let me read something. It's not, you say, or it is.
It not.
It is not. Okay. To make a perfect omelet, you need fresh ingredients, the right equipment, and the correct technique. You must also cook it for the correct amount of time and pay attention to the temperature. Why it's not an overview?
Because like an overview, like We just talk in general, and we don't um, like we don't write in details or describe how we do it.
Okay, so we don't, let me actually read it again. To make a perfect omelet, you need fresh ingredients. What you need? There is no details. Of course, we don't have ingredients. Just you need ingredients. The right equipment, of course, and the correct technique, just this. So it can be something like, process, of course, there are the stages of course, we have some ingredients and we have some equipment and we mix them. You must also cook it for correct amount. So actually, this is actually something like a general explanation. There is no detail here. So it can be an overview.
Uh,
Yeah. Do you know why? Do you know why? Of course, you say, okay, this one is process. In process short diagram, we say, okay, we only say the stages and the first and the last. What is not? Of course, we are not talking about process. This is, for example, Arden, you're going to talk about the process of making omelette, okay? And to make it, you say, to make an omelette, for some ingredients are needed, and of course equipments and some technique and just ingredients, just this. And what is ingredients? No detail. Equipment, no detail. Okay, and the method, no detail. So this
but
can be, yeah.
why it can be like we like we write before, like we wrote before, like that.
Okay. Okay, why it's not? Okay, an overview. Okay, let me say something about an overview. Of course, we have different overviews for different types of diagrams. Here we have process, okay?
Yeah.
Of course, you can change it to another form if you see the process. For example, if you see this one, okay, you can see for example, the process of making omelets, for example, or string hoppers contains 6 stages that begin and for example, the first one, this one, and ends in, for example, this one, okay? This is if you have. But here we are talking about something in general. So generally, it means that we don't give any details, okay, in
Yep.
overview, okay? It means something like this. Actually, we want to learn the concept of overview, okay? Not the form of it, of course. The form of it for process is something like this. The stages and the first and the last one. But if you say something like this, to make a perfect omelet, we need ingredients, equipment, and correct technique. This
Yeah.
is an overview, something that you think about it, but you don't give any detail. Okay, so it can be an overview. Get
Yeah.
it?
Yes. No.
Well,
Yeah.
okay, now see.
The production of tea involves a range of stages, from picking the leaves from the plant to drying and distributing it.
What is this?
Yes, it's an overview.
Very good, of course. And the last one?
The diagram shows the various stages in the process of making strawberry jam. The first stage is to pick the strawberries when they are ripe. Hmm. I think no, because there isn't the last like the last part.
Yeah, very good. Excellent. This is introduction, of course. The diagram shows any verb that you see the verb show, you see the verb illustrate, you see the verb demonstrate. Definitely these words are introductions. Okay, and we have some words here. Distribute. Do you know the meaning of distribute?
Oh no.
It means to share something. For example, I make something and share it to some people, to some places. This means distribute, it means convey. Okay, get it?
Yes.
Yeah, and we have ripe here. Ripe means ready to eat. For example, when a fruit is ripe, it means it's ready to eat. So
Yeah.
it's, for example, the color, for example, for apple, the color is red and it's ready to eat. This is ripe, okay? Well, the next one. Okay, well, study the essay opposite and find the introduction, the overview, sequencing expressions, and the rest of them. Okay, it's your turn. Read.
Um, the the diagram that demonstrates the process of preparing string hoppers, a kind of noodle dish. There are six main stages in the process, beginning with grinding the rice and making a dough, and ending with using a steamer to cook the string hoppers. Oh, uh, teacher, the introduction and an overview is in a one paragraph.
Very good. Yes, of course.
Oh,
Definitely, let me say something. Definitely, introduction should be followed by overview. So when introduction finished, overview is started. Okay?
yeah. And
So which one is introduction?
the first sentence.
Excellent. The first line is introduction and then overview.
There are six men to cook the string hoppers.
Very good. And of course, to the end of paragraph. So this is introduction, overview. And now let's go to the next part, that is sequencing expressions.
Um, First, the dry rice is put into a rice grinder to make it into flour. Next, the flour is mixed with water and formed into dough. After that, the dough is put into a string hopper press, which is a metal piece of equipment with two handles and holes in it. The dough is put through the hole and it comes out as thin noodle. The noodle nets are placed onto individual string hopper masks, which are rolled baskets made of thin pieces of wood. They are then cooked in a steamer until they are ready. The final stage is to serve the string hoppers with a variety of spicy curries.
Okay, so just let me say something. When I say sequencing expressions, I mean first, then, next, just these words, not whole sentences, okay? Just first and next and then and after that, there are sequencing expressions, okay? Now, so you don't need to say the whole sentence when I say, for example, tell me the sequencing expression, just one word, next, first, finally. And now part 4, verbs in the present simple passive.
Oh, or nest. No, like first nest, and after that, yes,
Okay,
three,
passive voice.
yeah, three of them.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we have, for example, is put, and for example, you can say, and the next one is pushed. So there are placed, all of them are present simple passive. Okay, and now the next one, descriptions of the equipment.
Description. I think which, yeah,
Description of equipment. What is equipment? For example, something that, that you need to talk about. For example,
Like
equipment, if it's metal or wooden.
is is a metal piece of equipment
Very good, very good, excellent. That's
and
it.
and round basket made of thin piece of wood.
Yeah, that's it. Very good. And the last one, vocabulary from the short instructions in exercise 4. A short instruction is, part 4. Okay, part 4. We have some vocabularies here. Of course, grinder, grind. Okay, so we need to just find some vocabulary from the text. Okay, for example, we have grind, we have rice, and
But I couldn't see again the vocabulary.
okay, so of course, we are going to find some vocabulary that we've learned from this process diagram.
Yeah. Uh, Dove,
Doll, yeah, excellent. And
string hopper,
yeah, of course, very good. And as you know the meaning of dough. It's mixture of flour and water. This one is. You know this, of course. Mixture of flour and water is dough, of
yeah,
course.
yes.
So very good. Okay, so we'll learn some new words related to food, of course, and we can use it if we have the same questions like this. Well, we have another process diagram. Okay, would you read the instruction, please?
Look at the pictures which show the process of making cherry jam. Complete the sentences with a verb from the box in the correct form. Like the first one, a seat is
Okay, sheet is something like this. What is this? Is,
uh like but a seat is like a tree.
okay. What?
Like I'm not sure that
Okay,
uh,
let me say something. Let me say something. Okay, so first of all, okay, let me close. Okay. First of all, as you can see, okay, a sheet this is a sheet. Okay, so this one. And they are shaking the tree. So the tree is shaked. And first of all, this is a sheet, okay, to collect, yeah, cherries. So which word we can say we normally use? The sheet is spread. The sheet is spread on the ground, okay? And past participle of spread is the same, spread, 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 so it's okay. So a sheet is spread. This is a sheet that is spread on the ground, and the tree
is shaped.
excellent, is shaped, very good. Now, number 2, the cherries are
Are collected and are
excellent
transported.
and very good and transported. And number 3, the leaves and stems.
The leaves and stems Well, are removed.
Yes, stems are removed and the cherries are,
The
this
the
is water.
uh washed.
Very good. Are washed. Very good. The stone is,
The stone. What?
is,
What? Oh, it's take. The stone is taken out of the middle of the cherry.
again, past participle of take is
Is oh no, it's taken out.
taken. Excellent. Taken out of the middle of the cherries. Okay. Sick. The cherries
The cherries are um are put no 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 yeah are put no but are cooked. I think that's sweet eating
are cooked and
and
extra
ingredients are put add
are
add added.
added. Excellent. Are added. The quality of jam is
The quality of jam is checked.
excellent. And the jam is
The jam is um put.
very good. Is put into jars. A label is
A label is sticked.
again past participle.
No,
Let me
uh,
write here.
no.
Is let me change the color. Why the color is? I normally need to change the color to black, white. Okay.
Oh,
So stock.
yeah.
Yeah, stock, stick, stock. Okay, good. So we have the process and then we have the stages. Okay, we have the stages of this process. Now, I want you to do something. Okay. First of all, okay, the pictures show the process of making cherry jam. Of course, we have some pictures. Now it's your turn to write and try to write the process, okay? Now, including introduction, overview, and main bodies, okay? Are you ready?
Yes.
Let's get started. And of course, you can use, just don't forget to use the sequencing words first,
But
next.
but what is sequencing expression?
Yeah, this is sequencing expressions. Some words like after that, like
Yeah.
next, like for example, first, finally, they are sequencing expressions. Of course, we can make the stages in order one by one using sequencing expressions. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Can you scroll up?
Of course, scroll up.
Yeah,
Is it
scroll.
okay now? Good.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, let's do something. If you think, I think you need to think of it more. Yeah? You need
No,
to think of it? No, or is okay.
I think it's okay.
Okay, so it's okay. So very good. So let me put this here.
Could you scroll? No.
Scroll up
Yeah.
or down? Up.
Up. No. Up. I need to see. Yeah. Yes. Okay. No.
Okay.
Up.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Could you scroll down again?
Of course, yes.
Yeah. Hmm. Could you scroll down to the sentence number 9?
First.
Yes. Okay. I finished the introduction and
Yeah.
oh,
Let me check. Okay, the process shows the way in which a region is made for eating. Of course, there are 9 stages in this process, from beginning with spreading sheds on the ground and trees is shake to get the cherries to stick a label on jars. Okay, very good. Just, you need to say which one is the final stage. Okay, for example, so and it ends in, for example, of course, sticking a label on the jars. Very good. Okay. But now, let me say something. Instead of the process, what can we use? For example, something like examples, something like we can say, okay, let me write it in chat box so that you can have it. We can use illustration. What does it mean? It means something like example, something like, for example, I don't know, picture or process. They are synonyms. So you can say, for example, the given illustration. No, instead of shows, the synonym for shows, I told you, demonstrate. Yeah, it's better than why not? We can use demonstrate. Okay, this is good. The process is good, and the cherry the demonstrate the way okay is made, you can say no. You can say, for example, the illustration or the given illustration demonstrate the process of cherry jam production making. But yours is correct. Yours is definitely correct, okay, but you can change it. I want to give you more alternatives so that you have actually more chances to get higher score. So you can say cherry jam production, yeah, or producing cherry jam. You can use. Very good. Excellent. Excellent. Okay. Well, that's it. And of course, you can write more. I want you to do something, of course, not now. At home, try to write it completely, including and write, please, at least 150 words, okay? Completely. So yeah, of course, including introduction, overview, and of course, main bodies to talk about the stages. So this is your home task. You need to write and of course send me. Well, okay, tell me, any questions, any issues related to this writing? Of course, we need to talk about it again and again because there are a lot of details about writing. I don't want to make you confused. So I think that's, for this part, that's enough to talk about writing. Do you have any questions, any issues related to this part?
I think this part is clear, but it's like I don't know how to use like the present preposition. Oh, what
Yeah,
is
preposition.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's like
Yeah,
how we use preposition in the relative close sentence.
yeah,
Like
of
it
course. Like,
like like the process, so the way in which cherry jam is made, like this
yeah,
sentence.
of course, you need to, of course, this is something, let me say something about prepositions. Of course, I will send you, all prepositions. So maybe you can understand how to use prepositions, but sometimes some prepositions, of course, are part of word. So we don't say, okay, for example, I should say on which or at which, in which is in which. So of course, we don't change. This is not something like preposition that you can change. But of course, sometimes, for example, we have some prepositions that are changeable. And you say, okay, for example, I don't know if I should say, for example, on the beach or at the beach or in the beach. Okay, you need to learn about them. But sometimes, for example, look forward to. Yeah, look forward to. So I have something like this that too is a part of
Yeah.
look forward. So we don't change it. We don't have any other alternative. So you need to learn them by practicing.
Uh,
You need to try, yeah, you need to actually memorize them because there is no rule about them. But about the other prepositions, I can explain them how, the rules and of course how to use them. For example, when can be used in, when can be used on, when can be used at. Okay, so I can describe them. So if I can, so let me do something. If I can find, I had something to show you. If I can find and share it, okay, maybe it takes a little time, so I keep it. I will send it, and then, of course, I will explain prepositions for you. Just let me say something in general about prepositions. We have three common prepositions. So, and what are they? On, in, at. How do we use them? Okay, so why can't I see your picture? I don't know why. Okay, so go to go. Yeah, it's okay now. Okay, so we have different, for example, prepositions, but I can say the most common prepositions are in, on, at. Now, there is a rule about the use of them that you need to know. If we want to talk about something in general, for example, general places, general transport, general things. We normally use in. For example, general time, year is general, in year. Okay, for example, in 2002, in, because it's really general. If we make it a little specific, we use on. What does it mean? For example, days. On Monday, this is a little more specific. It's not really general. Actually, I specified the date, so it's on. And if I actually make it very, very specific, too specific, I use at. I give time at 10. So we have general, a little specific, and most specific. So this is something that you need to know, the rule that you need to know about, of course, the general use of prepositions. But of course, there are a lot of different situations that you need to change them. So I will send you, you can study, and of course, I will talk about them one by one, how to use on. But about in which, there is no other alternative. In which is in which. For example, you said, in which case, it means, for example, if this has happened. For example, if this, I don't know, if something has happened, I say in which case. So in which, or combination that we normally use together. Get it?
Yeah. But it's like we can write a sentence that have which, but like we don't write in. We come like the example is a question. No, it's a sentence like the.
Okay.
It's like a sentence that have a word which but not in.
Yeah, say about which and in which.
Yes, like this.
Okay, which is which? Which means that. Which means that. Okay, for example, or
Yeah.
sometimes which means what. In question means what. In affirmative sentence means that. So this is about which. We know it. But about in which is combination of preposition in and the relative pronoun which. This is combination. And when they are used together, actually they form a relative pronoun to refer to subject, place, or time. For example, so time or place of subject in which, okay, is something relative pronoun, okay? And in which, of course, can be used as an interrogative, positive interrogative, maybe answer a question, interrogative pronoun to take the place of the word. So we use it for actually subjects, place, or time. This is in which, and it doesn't mean that. Okay?
Yes.
Yeah, very good. For
Yeah.
example, yeah, say.
No.
Okay, so for example, I say this is a house in which, for example, I grew up. In which the place I grew up. So say in which. Or for example, I can say
But why?
this is
But
the close. Yeah, what?
like the first example is we can also write like this is a house which I grow up. I think is also correct.
Okay, of course it's called. But let me say something. Let me explain the difference. I say this is the house that or which or where, of course, where is better, where I grew up. Now I say this is the house in which I grew up as a girl. So I mentioned the subject place as a girl. So I say in which. So if you want to use in which, okay, to mention the subject, place, or time. Now, let me give you another. In the closet, there is a box, okay, in which I keep all my jewelries. In which? In the closet, there is a box in which I keep, oh, you say, okay, I can say that. But you just use, for example, of course, different alternatives. Why don't use in which? But if you use that, of course, definitely is correct. But if you want, you can use, it's okay.
Yes. Okay.
So this is a little more advanced, yeah, we can say. Well, okay, I wanted to say something about writing this word. Just let me say this one. Well, okay. For writing, of course, you need to know something that really, really necessary. For example, there are general tips for writing section and rules, of course. And first of all, we don't use contractions. It means we don't use abbreviation. We use formal language. So for writing, we don't use abbreviation or, for example, contractions. For example, we have what?
No, it's like what contraction.
What?
It's like I don't
For
get the word.
example, for example, I have, I've, cannot, can't, do not, don't. These are contractions, okay? And of course, we normally in writing, especially task one, we don't use abbreviation or contractions because your writing should be formal, okay? So it's better to use full form, complete form. Get it?
Yeah, yes.
For example, you want to say they will, you say they'll. No, they
Yeah, yeah,
will. This is
yes.
formal writing, okay? So this is the first rule. And then you need to consider grammar. That is really important. For each diagram, we use different time tense. For example, next session, maybe next writing section, we talk about maps. For map writing, we have different time tense. So for process, we need to consider present tense, especially present simple, and definitely present simple passive. This is something that you need to know. And tell me, yeah, of course, uh, try not to use subject like, we, I, something that you were using and I told you don't use. It's not good to use. And of course, we don't have I and we because our sentences shouldn't be active. They are passive, so it's better not to use. Well, and that's then something that you need to know. The next one is capitalization. Yeah, what does it mean? Capitalization. For example, you want to write about something, of course. The given chart, the first word should begins in capital letter T, capital T, not small t. So you need to know, you need to consider capitalization. After period, after dot, we have capital letter.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
example, capital A, capital B, so you need to know. And spelling, that is really important. If you spell something actually in, I don't know, wrong, in a wrong way, you will lose your mark. So yeah, you will miss everything.
Yeah.
So of course, you need to consider spelling and punctuation. Punctuation is really important. For example, question mark. If you're making an interrogative question, you need to put question mark. You need to use period, comma, okay, in a correct place, of course. And just this. And for example, try to use the correct form of, for example, expressions, verb, and after that adverb, adjective. So the correct place, you need to know them, and just this. There are, the general rules or tips about writing. Of course, we try to talk about them more in details and just this. Okay. Any questions, any issues related to this part? Something that you want to ask me?
No, I think it's clear all things.
Okay, very good. So, well, next session we will start with listening. We have a listening section. We will learn some tips related to listening. Of course, some rules, some tips, and we have some exercises related to listening. And of course, just this. Now let me stop sharing because I don't need it anymore and stop recording.